Hello Internet, my name's Matt. We've got Russ Morrissey here as well, and a particularly loud piece of background noise, so I hope you can hear me over the top of it. We also have our first splendid and honoured guest. So if I can ask you your name and what you're here for.
Yes, my name is Tracy Barnett, and I am here because I won a Judge's Spotlight Award for my game School Days.
Fantastic, congratulations on that. We've also had our first person walking in front of the camera, everybody, so that went well. Thank you, Carlos. Like we said, everybody, this is live. You can tell it's live because stuff like that happens. Okay, so I take it it's this first time you've been to the ENnies? First time nominated?
It's my first time ever having been nominated because School Days is my first game.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm really pleased for you.
Me too.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the game?
Yeah, School Days is a improvisational game about high school. And not high school as in actual high school, because actual high school kind of sucks. Actual high school as in television high school or movie high school. So take your favorite high school movies, do fun things with them, and do it all with a really, really light system.
Fantastic. Okay, well, congratulations again on your award. We'll be seeing you a bit later on when you step up to collect it. And in the meantime, thank you ever so much for being our first guest. Our first guest, we've successfully done this, it has worked. Please go take a seat, relax, and we'll talk to you again later, possibly.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right. Well, hello world. How y'all doing?
So
good to see you.
You recently ran a Kickstarter, I believe.
I think the Kickstarter ran me, quite frankly.
Okay.
I did. It was surprisingly successful, considering I only had 380 backers and I made nearly $43,000.
That's incredible.
It's apparently one of the top 5 as far as most money per backer kind of pledges. So pretty exciting stuff. But let me tell you something: the aftermath has been a nightmare and a dream in equal measure. But it's exciting and fun and scary. It's like I've been describing to people. It's kind of like I'm the dog that's been chasing the UPS truck away from the neighborhood every day. And those are some pretty minor successes, but they're pretty cool. But one day I just got the gumption and I reached up and I latched my teeth onto the back bumper and I'm like, I got it! I caught the truck! And it's running 80 miles an hour towards the highway and I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God! So it's that kind of experience right now.
So why don't you tell us about the actual book?
Shantar Legends Unleashed is the second book in a series of what's now going to be like 32, 33 books.
Wow. Not
counting all the extra adventure stuff and everything else going on. Legends Arise is here at the show. Gorgeous cover and artwork by the Savage Mojo guys, and it's limited run and it's selling like crazy over at Studio 2 booth. Buy my book! Sorry, what can I say? You're not even here. How are you going to buy my book? You can buy it from online, drive through RPG and RPG Now. Anyway, that's been out for a while, but the Kickstarter funded the second book. Legends Arise covers novice through veteran gameplay for Savage Worlds in an epic high fantasy setting. And as a matter of fact, where's Christine? Christine, let's borrow the shirt real quick. I gotta show them the shirt, it's kind of cool. So, I'm gonna hold the drink in my teeth to show them.
Yep. Well, if you show it to the camera, the people at home.
Yeah.
That is good.
Now that's an awesome shirt.
So, yeah, it's pretty much Lord of the Rings meets Die Hard. Thank you, sweetie. So it's action-adventure cinema-style epic high fantasy as opposed to going down into holes and killing puddings and avoiding rust monsters. And the Legends Unleashed book covers heroic and legendary level play because I had a whole bunch of stuff to Savage Worlds along those lines. And then there's all the different guidebooks and Black Lantern reports, and Ed Greenwood's doing a book called Serenity City of Secrets for me, which is going to be sort of Shantar's version of Waterdeep, quite frankly. I've got Eddie Webb doing the Malachar Dominion, which is merchant princes and mafioso types. I've got Steve Long and Scott Coram and Aaron Rosenberg and Dan McGirt all writing novellas for me. Philomena Young is doing the Kingdom of Nazatir. I've got some other great, fantastic people lined up writing other stuff for me, and more approaching me all the time. So the Shantar thing has really kicked off, and what's really interesting is that we're doing this thing that I'm calling the world's first full-on 100% massively multiplayer tabletop RPG. I stand on the shoulders of giants. I totally admit this. You know, all the different living campaigns from before, amazing stuff. Taking everything I learned from them, from LARPs and everybody else, and because I'm the crazy man who owns the IP, there's no stakeholders besides me, I opened up it completely. So everyone who's in the Justice and Life campaign, they run a game, it's official canon automatically. So it is true one-to-one relationship. It's like being able to write fan fiction for Joss Whedon's verse, and it becomes real fiction the moment you write it.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, and bizarre and crazy, you know, and everybody thinks...
and all these different things,
Lisa Stevens, for instance, you know what, we're all watching from the peanut gallery. waiting to see what's going to happen. We think it's fantastic and insane. We don't know how you're going to manage it, but you go. And I'm like, well, you know, I always wanted to die out doing something big, and this will probably kill me.
Fantastic. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Y'all have a great show.
Thank you. So that was Sean Patrick Fannon talking about his Kickstarter for Shentar.
Hi, I'm Leighton Connor from Hex Games, creators of HOBOMANCER.
Okay, and if you can, just remind us, you've been nominated in which category?
Oh, for Best Electronic Book.
Fantastic. So yeah, tell us a little bit more. What's going on with this, and as much as you can, really.
All right. Well, you hear the name HOBOMANCER, you're thinking, well, that's probably about magical hobos, and you would be right.
Fantastic.
So the game is set in the 1930s in America. The idea is that there are train lines all across the country, and the train lines also follow the song lines, which are kind of like ley lines, the magical lines that, you know, very important. All the magic flows there. And the HOBOMANCERs are like shaman who travel along the trains and keep the song lines safe. They are hobos, so they're dirty, you know, people spit on them, look down on them, but they are also secretly magicians defending reality as we know it.
Fantastic. And of course, there's such a lot of kind of myth about the railroads and song and the way that all formed and carried along, so I can see how that's going to work. That sounds really awesome.
Yes, that's the whole idea. Is it's a very mythical version of the 1930s, like in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, like not necessarily strictly historical, though I mean there's history in it too, but just sort of that idea of that bygone era, so it's more romantic than it probably would be in reality if you were a homeless person living on a train.
Sure. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming over and speaking to us, and best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being one of our test guinea pigs. It's really good to see you. Hello.
Hi there.
And you are Mike Myler.
Yes, sir.
And you are here because you were nominated, presumably.
I run the blog for AdventureWeek.com, and
okay.
we are up for best website this year.
Oh yes, of course.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Is that one you follow, Russ?
I'm aware of it.
We have the Rise of the Drow Kickstarter. It's a hardcover, like I think we're coming in around 750 pages, something like that. And we're due for March 2014. We're on schedule. And I mean, I think that's why we're here actually.
Always good to hear that you're on schedule.
Yeah. We're working really hard to make sure that we hit the date. We know how important it is to make a deadline.
Yeah.
I mean, Adventure Week.
That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it's worth it. And everybody involved loves it. Stephen Yeardley is our Brit, and he just writes and writes and writes and writes and writes and writes. It just never ends. And then Jonathan Nelson's on top of stuff. Todd Gamble, who did. If you open up a D&D 3.0 book, his name is in there as the cartographer. Almost, like I'll bet you $50 you can't find me one. Yeah. And it's just an amazing team, and it's a mind-bending experience to be here doing this right now.
Well, thank you very much for coming along and speaking to us.
Thank you for having me here.
Okay.
It's, nice to finally meet you.
Congratulations on your nomination. So in case you don't know, this is Erik Mona, publisher of PAIZO Publishing. Erik here is... No, I won't make that joke again. Earlier today I tried to persuade Erik to announce Pathfinder 2nd edition, but he refused.
Yeah.
You did pull a very interesting face, though.
Yeah. Well, there's no such thing, sadly. So that's not happening.
So how many nominations do you have this year, Erik?
I think we're up for 7 or 8. And maybe also the guys who do our fan magazine, Wayfinder, are also up. So that's not technically ours, but we're proud of them nonetheless.
That pushes you up to 9.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
Not
haul.
bad, yeah.
Yeah, are you confident?
You know, I'm hopeful. I would say more than confident. You know, I hope people enjoy reading and playing with the games that we make, as we enjoy making them. So,
earlier today,
it's the magic of live television.
This is exactly the point. Yeah, we're doing this for the first time.
Earlier today, you mentioned a new adventure path coming soon, a slightly wacky, more off the trail type.
Yeah. We just announced let's see. Next August, we're going to be doing the Iron Gods Adventure Path, which is set in Numeria, the country in the world of Pathfinder, where there's a giant spaceship crash some time ago. It's kind of like a land of savage sorcery and super science, a mix of, you know, Thundar the Barbarian and science fantasy type stuff. And so, we're going to do that, and that'll go August through January
that sounds
2014.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I've run out of questions, Erik.
Well, good. Good.
What brand new products do you have on sale at Gen Con at the moment?
Well, that's a harder question to answer today than it was yesterday or the day before.
Have you sold out?
A lot of stuff is sold out. But we have the Pathfinder Adventure card game is the big thing for us this year. And we also have a hardcover rule book for Pathfinder called Mythic Adventures.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Could you tell the viewers about that?
I'd be happy to.
I'm sure they know already.
Hello, viewers. Well, the Pathfinder Adventure card game is a self-contained 500 card game. It's a cooperative card game. Yeah. It distills a lot of the Pathfinder tropes, and here we come another pass. It distills a lot of Pathfinder types tropes with, like, you have a character and you go on adventures and you fight monsters and you get treasure. Yeah. But you don't have to read 600 pages of a rule book to do it. Yeah. So that has got the first adventure. It's built into the game itself. And then that's got 6 different scenarios and tons of different locations, hours and hours of play. Yeah. And then every couple of months we'll be releasing additional adventure decks, 110 cards to supplement the base set. It's not really a collectible game. Everything you need is in the boxes themselves. You play as the Pathfinder iconic characters, going through Rise of the RUNELORDS adventure path, our very first adventure path. And the response has been phenomenal. We sold out. We brought more than we thought we would need. Yeah. And we sold out in 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when can people now expect to get their hands on it?
The street date at retail stores is August 21st.
Okay.
So very, very shortly.
Very shortly. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Erik, as always.
Right. Cheers, you guys. Wish you were here.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll see you later.
All right.
Right.
This is Charles Ryan.
Speaking of people that hadn't met for a long time, you and I met for the first time after knowing each other online for years and years and years. Met for the first time yesterday.
Exactly, which is good.
Yeah.
Really good. Except no one's going to hear this because of the microphone. But
that's sweet. Excellent.
So for those who don't know, this is Charles Ryan, the Chief Operations Officer of Monte Cook Games.
Cheers.
When did you meet Monte Cook? You've known him a long time, haven't you?
Yes, I met Monte Cook. I had probably met him once or twice before at like a Gen Con or something like that. But we worked together at Wizards of the Coast when I first went there, and we were in R&D together briefly for only 4 or 5 months. He had just wrapped up D20 Call of Cthulhu, and I edited some chunks of that book. And so that was my first connection with him.
And how's the sales going for Numenera at the moment on the exhibit hall?
We have sold out of everything that cannot be reordered.
Wow.
Already, and we have reordered all the stuff that can be reordered. So it has been a very successful show for us.
So for those that missed the opportunity to get things today, when can they expect to see them in their stores?
Things went live in stores in the U.S. On Wednesday, so they're already in stores.
And internationally?
Internationally, as for what it takes for it to just sort of dissipate out internationally.
Okay, fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure, Charles.
Thank you so much for having us, Russ. Thanks.
we are live. The internet.
Hello, internet.
The world.
Yes, as
we have millions of viewers.
Fantastic.
Or possibly literally dozens. We're not entirely sure. So, if you could introduce yourself for everyone and let them know what you're here for tonight.
I'm Amanda Valentine. I am the host of the ENnies tonight, which
and you're
is
going
very
to do
exciting.
A fantastic job.
Oh, of course I am.
Yes.
Full of wit and charm.
At least brevity.
And a school dance. That's right.
So yeah, I mean, this is this is obviously the first time for us live broadcasting, and obviously I believe first time for you hosting.
It is indeed.
So lots of preparation, worrying, stressing out, pacing up and down.
Absolutely. I'm more of an editor than a writer, but I'm married to a writer. So I had my husband write down notes, and then I edit them into what I wanted to say.
With lots of course, entirely spontaneous ad libs.
Oh, of course.
Yes. Are you looking forward to doing this?
I am looking forward to it.
Or are you nervous?
Yes.
You are?
I'm both.
You come across as very confident.
Well, thank you.
It's a finely tuned act, of course. It's the first secret, isn't it? It's like pretend like you know what you're doing, which is what basically me and Russ are doing right now.
Right. Bake it long enough, you look like you know what you're doing.
Precisely.
Everybody tries to imitate what you did.
Bake it till you make it, Abby.
Yes.
That's what they call it.
Exactly.
Right, well, thank you very much for dropping by. We'll leave you to get on and rehearse and sort out what you're doing.
We'll see you on stage shortly.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
Thank you.
If ever you want to communicate with the internet, glance over at this one.
Hi, Internet!
Thank you very much. All right, we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Okay, I'm back here with Mathew Muth, who's one of the ENnies judges this year. First of all, I'd like to apologise for the fact that people keep walking in front of us here. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to cordon off the area, and some of the people don't realise we're filming. Anyway, Mathew, you're an ENnies judge.
Yes.
So can you explain to the viewers how that process works?
The way the process works is there's 5 judges, and all the judges receive all the products. We get together, we discuss what the best are for various categories, our likes, what was the strongest in any given category, and we simply come up with a short list, and that list gets shorter.
Yep.
Eventually it is 5 items per category, and it's roughly 20 categories. At that point, we submit the list out to the public, and the public votes on it as they did a month ago.
As a process, would you categorize it as a lot of work?
It is a lot of work. It is a very rewarding amount of work, but it is a lot of work because you have to pour through materials that may not interest you initially, but you have to keep with it.
You have to read them nonetheless.
You have to read them nonetheless. You have to go through materials that you might not be familiar with the original source material. And then on top of that, you know, certain things will just get your attention more than others. So it is a lot of work, commitment, and organization.
So roughly how many books did you read this time around?
I counted, but if you count up physical books as well as PDF electronic submissions, it was roughly 350.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So do you have a judge's spotlight favourite, don't you?
Yes.
Which was yours?
Mine was called School Days by Sand and Steam.
And we spoke to him.
Did you? Tracy?
A short while ago, yeah.
Yes. It is basically a high school antics sort of game. Very American high school.
Yeah.
Very much making up characters, trying to dodge the teachers and principals and keep out of trouble while getting into other kinds of trouble.
So I know you don't know the results tonight, but do you have any predictions, any guesses?
I would predict that the product of the year would be Knights Black Agents.
Okay.
I think Pelgrane Press will walk away very happy tonight in a variety of categories.
Fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that was Mathew Muth, one of the ENnies judges.
I'm Rone Barton, and I was the top fundraiser for the ENnie Awards fundraising karaoke drive. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to sing the old modern English song, Melt With You. But I filked all the lyrics, and it's going to be I'll Spock Your World and Meld With You. And I have 3 D20 Girls Project models, dancers, dressed up in red Enterprise outfits, and they're going to dance all around me, so it should be fun.
I have seen them. The outfits are to be seen, to be believed. We're looking forward to it. So well, now, also, I believe you're also nominated separately from that tonight.
Yep.
So can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, I'm nominated for Atomic Rave for Best Podcast. We won the gold back in 2010. We were nominated in 2011, and in 2012 we forgot to submit.
You forgot to submit?
Yeah.
So this is the triumphant return, you hope?
Yeah. This is the at least we tried return. Yeah.
Well, it's good to know. Good to know that you remembered to submit yourself this year, and good luck with that.
Thank you so much.
Really looking forward to seeing the performance as well.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right.
I'm Eloy, Lasanta from Third Eye Games, and I'm nominated for Mermaid Adventures, which is in the Best Family Game category this year, which is the first year that they even have it, which is really awesome.
Fantastic.
Mermaid Adventures is it's a kids game. It's actually made for kids from target audience 7 to 11 to actually pick up and actually be able to read it themselves and run it for their parents.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's really awesome how kid-friendly and approachable the game is, and I get really tons of feedback. I get presents from 8-year-old girls from all around the world. It's actually really fun.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I love the idea of a game for kids to bring their parents in.
Oh yeah, and that was the main goal. Honestly, was I wrote the game mostly for my own daughter, who was really big into Little Mermaid at the time, and a game that I could try and get her into the industry, and it worked. And then she started running games for her friends, and I was running games then at cons, and then other kids were then running games at cons, and it's actually becoming like kind of a big thing. It's really cool.
And at that stage, you basically decided, well, why are we not doing this on an even bigger scale?
Exactly. And honestly, every time I hear from somebody, it just touches my heart. Like that was the reason I wrote the game. Yes, continue running that for your parents. That's awesome.
Because I see it's a big thing at the moment is the kind of the engagement with bringing more people into the hobby, and it sounds like you've come up with a brilliantly kind of topsy-turvy alternate way of doing it.
Yeah, and and the system's really simple. Everybody can it's instantly approachable, and and I think that's why it's nominated. I think the judges just saw, that there's just that something like that little spark in this game that just gets people's hearts going, you know, and it's just really awesome.
Well, we had a little chat with one of the judges earlier who was, of course, being really, really cagey. And, of course, I'm happy to genuinely promise everybody, I honestly don't know the results. No one's told me. No one tells me anything. But anyway, the very best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And, yeah, I hope we'll see you in future years as well.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Good to see you.
Have a good one.
Right.
So we're broadcasting here live from the ENnies 2013. I'm standing here with Robin Laws, who you may well know as a prolific game designer.
Yes, I make a living at game designing, so you have to be prolific.
He's also a very good game designer.
Why, thank you. It's very kind of you.
Not a problem. So Hillfolk is your latest release. Could you tell us something about that?
Yeah, it's a first iteration of what we call the drama system. You play raiders in a fictionalized version of the 10th century BC, early Iron Age, and just how much you fictionalize that, you decide yourself in each group. But it's the first drama system game, and drama system is a game of personal interaction that sort of cracks finally how to do scenes of player-character personal conflict, not physical conflict, that actually progress and grow and build into a narrative. And eventually what you wind up with is something that feels like a serialized television drama, like Game of Thrones or True Blood or Mad Men. In the case of the main setting, it would be a TV show about Iron Age raiders. Sure. But we've also, through the Kickstarter process, added a lot of other series pitch ideas from some of the greats of role-playing.
So it's not necessarily Stone Age, despite the name Hillfolk. You could, for example, have a science fiction or far future.
Right, there's a bunch of science fiction ones. It's actually really great to do science fiction that isn't space opera, the sort of idea-driven SF that the genre was built on, but that we don't normally touch in role-playing, because now you can do something that's all about the emotional impact of, for example, sitting down your family and saying, you're going to get the radical surgery that makes you no longer human. And that's a setting called Transcend by Jennifer Brozak. Or Ryan Macklin has done one called Tesseract Wyoming, which is about being on the other side of the cyberpunk revolution. You're the people who've been left behind by the singularity. And so again, you're basically playing people who really care about each other and have conflicts between each other. And that can happen in any setting, from samurai to the far future, to historicals, to crime dramas. And between the two books, we have like 63 different alternate settings.
Right.
We've got
That's a lot of settings.
Yeah, we've got like Mark Reinhagen's first role-playing writing in something like 10 or 15 years. He did one that's, you do it as it's a reality, a survival show gone horribly awry. Ed Greenwood did Elizabethan fairies and intrigue. So there's really between the two books, there's this incredible wealth of great gaming ideas that you can use, first of all, for drama system, or of course, steal for whatever other purposes you have.
Fantastic. So the ENnies tonight, I know you don't know the results, but are you rooting for anyone that you're not connected with yourself?
I root for everybody.
Everyone.
I love everyone.
Everyone equally.
Whoever wins obviously deserved it, because it's the ENnie voters.
Do you have any predictions?
Who could possibly have more impeccable taste than you, the ENnie voter?
Just the one. Singular, ENnie voter.
Well, whoever's watching this currently, I'm talking to you, of course.
It's been a pleasure, Robin.
Okay, thank you.
I'll talk to you again later in the con.
Okay, great. Take
Thank
care.
You.
And there's the camera.
Is it Crowell or Crowell?
It's Crowell.
Is Mary Crowell?
Like the bird with an O.
Okay.
Yes.
So tonight you're performing for us. Could you tell us what you're performing?
I am performing I Put My Low Stat, and I am performing M is for Magic Missile.
And this song was the winner of a competition. What competition was that?
That would be the EN World Battle of the Bards for 2012.
And that was a fantastic song, and you'll be seeing Mary performing that live within the next 15 minutes or so.
Indeed, yes.
Well, it's a pleasure, Mary.
Yes.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
I'm Todd Gamble, and with my business partner Jonathan Nelson.
Hi.
And we're from AdventureWeek.com, and we are here nominated for Best Website.
Fantastic. Best of luck with it.
Well, thank you.
It's fine. I can honestly say no one's told me what the results are, so I don't know. So I can wish everybody good luck, genuinely.
Thank you.
So an adventure a week, is this all genres, all styles, all systems?
It's 3.5, like D&D 3.5, and Pathfinder compatible. All the adventures are dual system compatible.
Fantastic. Okay, which is, I know some work is very similar, but there must be some adjustments back and forth for each one.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a few adjustments to be made here and there, but luckily our team, Stephen Yeardley, Will Myers, Joshua Gullion, are all very skilled at converting stats.
Fantastic. All right, well, I'm going to cut this. Thank you very much for coming up. Again, best of luck. Really do mean it. Is it first ENnies for you guys, or?
This is. We are so proud.
Well, you should be. You should be, because if it gets voted for, by the fans once the judges have come forward with the nomination. So fingers crossed for both of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good luck. Kirin is a person some of you will have seen before, has a previous ENnie Award winner. But anyway, I'm going to let him introduce himself. So what we've been asking everyone is let's hear your name again and what you're here for tonight.
Oh, hello.
Too close.
Okay, yeah, my name is Kirin Robinson. I'm here to, I think, represent the burgeoning free RPG movement. I won the best ENnie for Old School Hack in 2011. And I have totally been riding that cachet like crazy. I haven't done much with it, though, which actually is kind of embarrassing.
Well, apart from sitting around going, hey, I won that ENnie that one time.
Well, you got to work it, right?
Yeah. And also, now this is something that obviously I'm not even sure if Kirin remembers, but I'm going to drop this one on you. Kirin also famously, in my case, I won a silent auction a couple of years ago. I knew this would happen. Yeah. And go on, explain what happened next after I won it.
All right, man. So you just won a copy of Microscope, right, when it came out, which was like the world-building book. And I was super excited to see a copy because I heard a lot of good stuff about it, and I was sort of churning a lot of world-building gears in my head. And I totally borrowed yours in the embassy lobby last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And then dropped it in the fountain.
You dropped it in the fountain. He dropped it in the fountain, and it was ruined.
And it was totally ruined. And I was just like, wow, that's me being awesome to my buddy Matt. So
and I've been waiting the 2 days I've been here to bring that one up and embarrass him. And then I realised, let's do it live on camera in front of the internet. So thank you very much for being a good sport about that.
You got it, man. Good seeing you.
Thank you. You too. All right, that was Kirin. I couldn't wait to do that, and I had to take the opportunity, because how often do you get to embarrass one of your friends live on front of, however many viewers we have currently?
I'm Dominic McDowell. I'm the CEO of Cubicle 7 Entertainment. We're the guys who do the Doctor Who role-playing game, the One Ring, which is the Lord of the Rings role-playing game, and a host of other stuff. We're trying to... releasing some stuff for the show, so that's been going well. We've been showing off World War Cthulhu, which is a World War II setting for the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's been going well. I think it's the that mix of the espionage side of things going on, all the taking on the World War II challenges and all that sort of stuff, while also having to deal with the Cthulhu mythos threats as well. So
who are, of course, famously resistant to bullets and bombs and so on.
Oh yes, I think in World War Cthulhu, generally, if you started shooting, you've probably lost already.
That's always been the way, though. It's always been the way in Cthulhu. How's it been? How's all your stuff been selling at the booth last couple of days?
That's been going great. I think having the demos and stuff like that really gets people excited to come back and get stuff. And I've been blown away. It's been really good.
Fantastic. And just quickly as well, what specifically you nominated for tonight?
We are, I think it's 6 awards, we're at 4 or 7.
Don't look at me,
7.
I've lost track.
We're nominated for the Laketown screen and, the Lawmaster screen and Laketown sourcebook for the One Ring role-playing game. For the 11th Doctor edition of Doctor Who Adventures in Time and Space, the role-playing game.
Which presumably means relatively soon you guys are going to have, or unless you've already started working on the 12th Doctor edition.
Well, we couldn't possibly reveal such sensitive information.
Now, I'd had a conversation with you before where you said that you had been given tiny slivers of information in advance. I'm going to guess the BBC didn't do anything so helpful as give you this one in advance.
I couldn't possibly comment.
Oh! Which is, of course, very appropriate for anyone that knows about Peter Capaldi and the kind of Spin Doctor thing, House of Cards.
A
very sly reference.
Absolutely.
Of course. All right, thank you ever so much for coming over, Dominic.
Thank you.
Best of luck tonight. We
Thanks
hope that you have to make a lot of walks up to here.
Hopefully.
Yes. And we'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.